What if the war on drugs isn't just about territory or money, but about something far older, far darker, something whispered in blood and fire? We're diving into a horrifying truth that mainstream media ignores, a reality where cartels aren't just criminal enterprises, but forces weaponizing ancient occultism to fuel their empires. For decades, we've watched cartel violence evolve, from simple drug running to brutal turf wars. We thought we understood the game: territory, profits, intimidation. But what if we've been looking at the wrong battlefield? What if the true conflict isn't just fought with bullets, but with rituals, with blood, with a chilling belief system that turns mass slaughter into a sacred act? The modern cartel war isn't just a physical fight, it's a spiritual one, a terrifying fusion of ancient occultism and the relentless pursuit of power. The human sacrifice, the ritualistic displays, these aren't just barbaric acts for show. They've become the actual engine driving a ruthless narco-empire's expansion. To truly grasp the horror, we must learn to decode the grim portents etched in the charred remains and spilled blood of a war unlike any other. By 2026, the lines between tactical warfare and ritualistic violence within cartels have not just blurred, they have vanished completely. We're seeing the emergence of a new doctrine, a twisted narco-cultura, where beliefs once considered fringe, like devotion to Santa Muerte, or practices derived from Santeria, are no longer optional. They are mandatory. These aren't just personal superstitions for a few misguided individuals. They are integrated into operational manuals for frontline sicarios, becoming a core component of how cartels plan and execute their activities. Imagine a military strategist consulting not just intelligence reports, but also astrological charts or ancient prophecies before launching an offensive. This is the reality we are observing. The ritualized beheadings, the public displays of dismembered bodies, the gruesome altars discovered at massacre sites. These aren't simply acts of intimidation designed to terrorize rivals or the general population. In this evolved narco-cultura, they serve a far more profound and terrifying purpose. They are literal offerings. These acts are believed to secure spiritual protection for cartel members, to bless their weapons, to guarantee victory during territorial conquests. They are strategic moves within a horrifying game, not mere barbarism. A shocking report from a former cartel insider, now living under witness protection, described how the bosses believe the blood spilled on the land nourishes the earth for their dominion. Each head taken is a prayer answered, a shield against bullets, a step closer to absolute power. This isn't just a superstition, it's a terrifying operational strategy. This brings us to the warrior priest class, a development that truly elevates the horror. Cartels have painstakingly synthesized ancient Mesoamerican blood rites, practices rooted in pre-Columbian civilizations where human sacrifice was a way to appease gods and ensure cosmic balance, with modern paramilitary discipline. This isn't a haphazard adoption, it's a systematic integration, creating a new breed of soldier. These aren't just hitmen, they are warrior priests within their ranks, individuals who view their brutality as justified through a shockingly twisted theology. Their actions, no matter how extreme, are not just permitted but encouraged, even sanctified, by a belief system that has morphed violence into a form of worship. They are taught that suffering and death are necessary sacrifices for a greater spiritual purpose, ensuring the cartel's divine mandate. You'll find specific occult symbols at mass casualty sites, not just random graffiti. These are not just territorial markers or gang signs. They are spiritual warnings to rival factions, infused with a power derived from the bloodshed they oversee. A recent investigation into a particularly gruesome discovery in Chihuahua uncovered specific glyphs from pre-Hispanic cultures, alongside symbols associated with Santa Muerte, meticulously painted in fresh blood. This theological shift provides a chilling moral loophole for these soldiers, allowing them to commit extreme atrocities while maintaining a twisted sense of divine purpose. They operate under a perceived divine mandate, convinced that their violence serves a higher power, making them impervious to conventional notions of guilt or remorse. One intercepted message from a cartel leader to his sicarios read, "The Lord of Shadows demands his due. Your hands are merely instruments of his will. It's a complete inversion of morality, a dark spiritual justification for unimaginable acts. Behind this terrifying evolution of cartel violence lies a dark economic pipeline. This isn't just about drug money anymore. It's about the occult industry that now supports it. We're talking about the trafficking of ritual artifacts, ancient idols, ceremonial knives, rare animal parts, across borders. We're talking about the hiring of specialized spiritual advisors for high-ranking capos, individuals who command exorbitant fees for their services, which can range from conducting elaborate ceremonies to interpreting omens and curses. This entire occult industry, though hidden, represents a multi-million-dollar business, a shadowy parallel economy fueling the cartel's spiritual warfare. These advisors aren't just charlatans. Many are deeply embedded in ancient traditions, giving their counsel a perceived legitimacy among the cartel's leadership. But the spiritual terror doesn't stop there. In a truly modern twist, these rituals are now captured on body cameras worn by sicarios. These high-definition recordings are then transformed into chilling digital propaganda, circulated on encrypted channels in dark web forums. The goal isn't just to boast, it's to weaponize spiritual terror, blending ancient fear with modern media influence. Imagine a rival cartel seeing not just a massacre, but a ritualistic sacrifice caught on film, a clear message that their enemies are not just physically powerful, but spiritually blessed by a malevolent force. This propaganda, designed to sow fear and break morale, leverages humanity's primal anxieties about the unknown and the supernatural. It's psychological warfare taken to its most extreme and horrifying level, where every gruesome act becomes a piece of a carefully crafted fear-inducing narrative. And then there are the fires. The recent wave of unexplained fuel tank explosions across northern Mexico, these are not mere accidents. Investigators have struggled to find conventional explanations, but our deep dive into encrypted dark web forums reveals a disturbing pattern. These industrial disasters are being openly linked to specific occult calendars and prophetic countdowns. These are not random acts of sabotage. They are viewed by narco leadership as necessary fire rituals. This is the portent theory. Massive industrial disasters are believed to cleanse the land, purify it through fire, and thus prepare it for a new era of cartel governance. The scale of these explosions, the intensity of the infernos, is believed to be directly proportional to the perceived strength and favor of the cartel's spiritual patron. Cryptic messages found near the charred wreckage often echo ancient prophecies, speaking of rebirth through fire, of the land being purified for new dominion. It's a chilling explanation that reshapes our understanding of industrial sabotage into something far more sinister, an act of divine purification. This leads us to the grim future, the governance of shadows. The narco-state as we've known it is moving towards a total integration of occultism and political administration. Imagine a future where elections are influenced not just by money and force, but by prophetic signs and ritualistic omens in the lead-up to the 2027 elections. This development carries significant international implications. We're facing the rise of a paramilitary force that prioritizes prophetic signs over traditional geopolitical logic, a group whose decisions are guided not by economic models or diplomatic strategies, but by blood sacrifice and dark prophecies. This fundamentally alters the landscape of national security. There is an urgent need for a new intelligence framework, one that treats cartel occultism not as mere superstition or a quirky cultural aside, but as a core strategic threat. Our current frameworks are ill-equipped to understand or counter an enemy that believes